Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Ram Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Devi Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 20th. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Sanatana Goswami in the science of the Absolute Truth. Text 377 onwards. Or 378, but previous words, Mahaprabhu finished talking about different incarnations. Now he's talking about the pastimes of the Lord. So this is what he said. Thus I have explained specifically empowered incarnations. Now please hear about the characteristics of Lord Krishna's childhood, boyhood and youth. Text 378. Kishore Shekhar Dharmi Vrajendra Nandan Prakat Lila Kari Bare Jabe Kare Man. As the son of Maharaj Nanda, Lord Krishna is by nature the paragon of Kishore, youth. He chooses to exhibit his pastimes at that age. So he always remains Kishore, now Nitya Kishore. आदो प्रकट कराए माता पिता भक्त गणे पाछे प्रकट है जन्मादिक लीला क्रम. Before his personal appearance, the Lord causes some of his devotees to appear as his mother, father, and intimate associates. He then appears later as if he were taken birth and growing from a baby to a child and gradually into a youth. See, Mahaprabhu is, so many people, when they argue, they ask, so if Krishna is God, this is what you say, so his parents must be God for him because he is born of parents. He has mother and father. So he cannot be real God. No, he is God. He just, because of some of his devotees want to have this Vatsalya Ras with him, so they appear as mother, father, and other elderly associates. It's not, and Krishna just plays his pastime of taking birth and growing from baby to a child and to youth. But in spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, he doesn't take birth. He's over there eternally. Nitya Kishore, he's always there as youth, young, forever. He has mother and father to have his pastimes with them because they're in this parental rasa. But that doesn't mean Mother Yashoda or Devaki over there gave birth to Krishna. This birth pastime he only performs on earth for babyhood pastimes. And in fact, these are the reasons he wants to appear on earth to perform these pastimes, to enjoy the parental rasa, to enjoy this babyhood rasa. And Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Devaki, Vasudev, they can enjoy the parental rasa. See, this part, those who are atheists, those who don't have faith, they cannot understand. They just can't. That's why these pastimes are very sweet, but very confidential. Vayaso vividhatve api sarva bhakti rasashraya dharmi kishorevatra nitya lila vilasa. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally enjoying himself, and he is a shelter of all kinds of devotional service. Although his ages are various, his age, known as Kishore, pre-youth, is best of all. This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Putana vadadi yat lila kshane kshane, sab lila nitya prakat kare anukram. When Lord Krishna appears from moment to moment, he exhibits his different pastimes, beginning with the killing of Putana. All these pastimes are eternally being demonstrated one after another. Eternally being demonstrated one after another. So does Krishna know, because these are eternal pastime, so does he know that Putana Rakshasi will be there, Shaktasur, Trilamara, Bagasur, Bakasur, all these asuras will be there? Yes. And he performs these pastimes over and over and over again. There's some variety might be there, but that's about it. But all these Rakshasas, all these asuras are there. So some living entity will become more so envious of Krishna that he will or she will become Putana and Agasur and Bakasur. But he doesn't want them to become like that. In his instructions in Gita, he doesn't say become like that. But since they do, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatushkrita. So some will will become demons like this. अनंत ब्रह्मांड तार नाहि का गण कौन लीला कौन ब्रह्मांडे है प्रकट. The consecutive pastimes of Krishna are being manifested in one of the innumerable universes, moment after moment. There is no possibility of counting the universes. But in any case, some pastime of the Lord is being manifested at every moment in one universe or another. And there is not just Krishna's pastimes. Just imagine all these pastimes are happening one moment after another in a different universe. And then pastimes of Lord Ram are happening one after another in different universe. Pastimes of Nrsimhadev, Vamandev, Varahadev. So can we imagine how many universes are there? We can't. Isn't this mind-boggling? And those who say, oh, I know Krishna, what do they know of Krishna? Nothing. Tatastha Lakshan or Swarup Lakshan. What Lakshan do we know? And another thing I read somewhere long time back. This is another perplexing, complex thing. Now, when the universes, material universes, are manifested, when Lord Vishnu exhales, all the universes come out. When he inhales, all the universes go back. But it is said Krishna's pastimes, even in material world, they're also nitya pastimes, eternal. So when the universes are unmanifested, how is he performing his pastimes? So it is said that Maya Devi makes all these set of universes, material universes, when they are inhaled inside the body of Mahavishnu, she prepares them outside so Krishna can perform his pastimes. These are eternal pastimes in the material world and eternal in the spiritual. That is even more inconceivable. Mahadevi is what? Servant of Krishna. He wants to have his eternal pastimes. It's just like a CEO of a company and he gives some orders to the managers. They have to do it. It is completely crazy pastime. How do we understand all this? No way. ए मत सब लीला जैन गंगाधार से लीला प्रकट करे ब्रजेंद्र को. Thus the Lord's pastimes are like the flowing Ganga water. In this way, all the pastimes are manifested by the son of Nanda Maharaj. Gangadhar. See, do we ever see Ganga not flowing? No, she is always flowing. क्रमे बाल्य पौगंड कैशोरता प्राप्ति रास आदि लीला करे कैशोर नित्य स्थिति. Lord Krishna exhibits his pastimes of childhood, youthhood, or childhood, boyhood, and pre-youth. When he reaches pre-youth, he continues to exist eternally to perform his ras dance and other pastimes. The comparison made here is very interesting. Krishna does not grow like an ordinary human being, even though he exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and pre-youth. When he reaches the age of pre-youth, Kashore, he does not grow any older. He simply remains in his Kashore age. He is therefore described in the Brahma Samhita as Navayovan. Advaitam Achyuttaman Adim Ananta Rupam Adim Purana Purusham Navayogancha. So Adyam Purana Purusham. He is the Adi, he is the beginning of everything. He is Purana Purusham, the oldest person, because he is the beginning of everything. But Navayoganancha, he is always in the pre-youth age, Kashava age. Why? Because that is the age when anybody or somebody enjoys the most. Not when we get old or adult, or no, we don't enjoy. It's a youth age. He's eternally that old. Lord Ram, he performed his pastimes in Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga people used to live for 10,000 years. But it is said somewhere 11,000 varsh paryanta, I heard that he reigned over. He was as a king. After he left Mother Sita again, second time when he was a king. After that, he reigned over for 11,000 years, something like that. Or after Mother Sita disappeared, he still acted as a king for 11,000 years. Vinay Prabhu can correct me. But the point is, so even before that, 14 years exile and this and that, but he did not grow old. Nowhere we see or hear any description of Lord Ram becoming old. No. He probably wasn't Kishore age, but little older, but that's about it. That is the beauty of Supreme Lord. Because one of his opulences is beauty. He's always beautiful. He has all the beauty. People cannot understand. In Christian tradition, they show God as very old, wrinkly man, long white hair, white beard, wearing white robes. Why God has to look old? And why at that age? Why they might be showing maybe he's 120 years, something. Why stop at that age? Why not show somebody 1,000 years old, 5,000 years old? Because they cannot conceive. But here, Vedic scriptures clearly saying, Kashore age is Nitya Kishore. Nitya Lila Krishnera Sarva Shastra Kaya, Bujite na Pare Lila, Kemane Nitya Hai. Descriptions of Krishna's eternal pastimes are in all the revealed scriptures. But one cannot understand how they are continuing eternally. Cannot understand. Drishtanta diya kahita be loka yade jane, Krishna Lila Nitya Jyotish Chakra Pramane. Let me give an example by which people may understand Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes. An example can be found in the zodiac, Jyotish Chakra. Jyotish Chakra Surya Yena Fire Ratri Dine Sapta Dvipam Buddhi Langhi Fire Krame Krame. The sun moves across the zodiac day and night and crosses the oceans between the seven islands, one after the other. Ratri Dine Haye Shashti Dand Pariman Tin Sahasra Chai Shat Palatarana. According to Vedic astronomical calculation, the rotation of sun consists of 60 dandas and it is divided into 3600 palas. Suryodaya haite shashti pal kramoday sei ek danda ashta dande prahara. The sun rises in steps consisting of 60 pal. 60 pal equal 1 danda and 8 dandas comprise 1 prahar. Ek dui tin chari prahar ashtahaya. Chari prahar ratri gele puna suryodaya. The day and night are all divided into 8 prahars. 4 belonging to the day and 4 belonging to the night. 8 prahar, yes. After 8 prahars, the sun rises again. Aicha Krishnera Lila Mandal Choda Manvantare Brahmanda Mandal Vyapi Krame Krame Pire. Just as there is an orbit of the sun, there is an orbit of Krishna's pastimes, which are manifested one after the other. During the lifetime of 14 Manus, this orbit expands through all the universes, and gradually it returns. Thus, Krishna moves with his pastimes through all the universes, one after the other. Brahmanda Mandal, all the universes. Sayo Ashta Vatsar Krishnera Prakata Prakasha Taha Yaiche Vrajapure Karila Vilasa. Krishna remains within a universe for 125 years. And he enjoys his pastimes both in Vrindavan and Dwarka. Alata Chakra Praye se Lila Chakra Pire Sab Lila Sab Brahmande Krame Uday Kare. The cycle of his pastimes turns like a wheel of fire. Thus Krishna exhibits his pastimes one after the other in every universe. Janma Balya Poganda Kashura Prakasha Putana Vad Adi Kari Moshulanta Vilasa. Krishna's pastimes, appearance, childhood, boyhood, and youth are all manifested, beginning with the killing of Putana and extending to the end of the Moshul Lila, the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. All of these pastimes are rotating in every universe. Kona Brahmande Kona Leela Hai Avasthana Tate Leela Nitya Kahe Agama Purana. Since all Krishna's pastimes are taking place continuously, at every moment some pastime is existing in one universe or another. Consequently, these pastimes are called eternal by the Vedas and Puranas. And another thing to note, see, while we are reading, things come to my mind. So when a devotee, of course, not like us, we are neophyte, those who are coming to perfection. So if they have perfected their life and they have become completely purified, so when they leave the body, in a material universe, when they leave the body, there's no leaving the body in the spiritual world anyway. So they go to the universe, a material universe, where Krishna's pastime is going on when they leave the body. Why? Because whatever mood, how they are in when they left the body, so they cannot go straight back to the spiritual world because the training has to be there. It's just like when we complete our engineering or medical, we don't start performing engineer's work or doctor's work. We have to get training. Internship has to be there. So they go to that universe, where pastime, whatever pastimes are happening, And then they get the training from, if they're Vatsalyaras, then Yashoda Mayananda Baba or elderly Gopas, Gopis. Or if they are in Shingaras, then from Gopis or Manjaris or Sakhis, whichever mood they are in. And then over there, then the further training and the further purification. Because if you remember, Gopis, when Krishna was playing his flute at the banks of Yamuna in the middle of the night, so all the Gopis left their homes and they wanted to go be with Krishna. But some of the Gopis were not let go of by their husbands or parents or whoever the elders in the house. And they left their bodies, means they died. So the point is, those gopis, they still needed more purification. So these are the souls who are not purified yet, but they're still purified enough to be in those pastimes, to be with Krishna, to be with the gopis. But still, something more had to be done. So this is also one of the reasons all the pastimes are happening in all the universes in consequent manner. Golok Gokul Dham Vibhu Krishna Sam Krishna Chai Brahmanda Gane Tahara Sankram. The spiritual abode known as Golok, which is a pasturing land for Survi cows, is as powerful and opulent as Krishna. By the will of Krishna, the original Golok and Gokul Dhams are manifested with him in all the universes. By the will of Krishna, because Krishna wants to bring his dham, his associates, and the places of his pastimes, so he can perform his pastimes there also. More pastimes than what he normally performs in the spiritual world. Just like taking birth, killing of the demons. There are no demons in the spiritual world. But he kills the demons here on earth, in Gokul Dham. And so many other pastimes. Ateva Golokasthane Nitya Vihar, Brahmanda Gane Krame Prakatya Tahar. The eternal pastimes of Krishna continuously taking place in original Golok Vrindavan planet. These same pastimes are gradually manifested within the material world, in each and every art. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur elucidates this complicated explanation of Krishna's pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are always present in the material world, in one of the many universes. These pastimes appear in universes one after the other, just as the sun moves across the sky and measures the time. Krishna's appearance may be manifested in this universe at one moment, and immediately after his birth, this pastime is manifested in the next universe. After his killing of Putna is manifested in this universe, it is next manifested in another universe. Thus, all the pastimes of Krishna are eternally existing both in the original Golok Vrindavan planet and in the material universes. The 125 years calculated in our solar system to be Krishna's lifetime equal one moment for Krishna. One moment, these pastimes are manifested in one universe, and the next moment, they're manifested in the next universe. There are unlimited universes, and Krishna's pastimes are manifested one moment after the other in all of them. This rotation is explained through the example of suns moving across the sky. Krishna appears and disappears in innumerable universes, just as the sun appears and disappears during the day. Although the sun appears to rise and set, it is continuously shining somewhere on the earth. Similarly, although Krishna's pastimes seem to appear and disappear, They are continuously existing in one Brahmanda, universe or another. Thus, all of Krishna's Leelas are present simultaneously throughout the innumerable universes. By our limited senses, we cannot appreciate this. Therefore, Krishna's eternal pastimes are very difficult for us to understand. One should try to understand how they are taking place by understanding the example of the sun. Although the Lord is appearing constantly in the material universes, his pastimes are eternally present in the original Golok Vrindavan. His pastimes are eternally present in the original Golok Vrindavan. Therefore, these pastimes are called Nitya Lila, eternally present pastimes. Because we cannot see what's going on in other universes, it is a little difficult for us to understand how Krishna is eternally manifesting his pastimes. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and in this time calculation is also taking place in other universes. Krishna's pastimes are manifested before 14 Manus expire. Although it is little difficult to understand the eternal pastimes of Krishna in this way, we must accept the verdict of the Vedic literatures. So there are two types of devotees, the sadhak who is preparing for perfection and the siddha who is already perfect. As far as those who are already perfect are concerned, what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mame. After giving up this material body, such a devotee comes to me. So after leaving the material body, the perfect devotee takes birth from the womb of a gopi on a planet where Krishna's pastimes are going on. This may be in this universe or another universe. This statement is found in the Ujjwal Nilamani, which is commented upon by Vishwanath Chakravarti. When a devotee becomes perfect, he is transferred to a universe where Krishna's pastimes are taking place. Krishna's eternal associates go wherever Krishna manifests his pastime. As stated before, first the father and mother of Krishna appear, then the other associates. Quitting his material body, the perfect devotee also goes to associate with Krishna and his other associates. And another mind-boggling thing, there's so many. Krishna's pastime, they're amazing. Now, in Golok Vrindavan, there is Yashoda Maya, Nanda Baba, Devaki, Vasudeva, and others. Now Krishna is coming to this material universe, so he sends them before he appears. So their appearance also happens in different universes at the same time. So they also expand themselves. Krishna's mercy. It's not like different person is going to become Yashoda and Nanda Baba, different universe. They are Nitya Siddhas, the eternal associates of Krishna. Vraje Krishna Sarveshwarya Prakashe Purnatma Puri Dvaye Paravyome Purnatar Purnam. Krishna is complete in the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha. He is more complete in Mathura and Dwarka and is most complete in Vrindavan, Braj, due to his manifesting all his opulences. Now, Krishna, Supreme Lord, Supreme Absolute Truth. Now, even in there are some gradations. He is complete in Vaikuntha, more complete in Mathura, Dwarka, and most complete, or completely complete in Vrindavan. Means he manifested his different opulences differently in all these places. So he manifests completely in Vrindavan. Hari Purna Atma Purna Tara Purna Iti Tridha Shrestha Madhyadibhi Shabdair Natya Yah Paripathyate. This is stated in the dramatic literatures as perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. Thus Lord Krishna manifests himself in three ways: perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. Prakashata khela guna smrita purnatma buddhe asarva vyanjaka purna tara purna alpa darshaka. When the Supreme Personality of God does not manifest all his transcendental qualities, he is called complete. When all the qualities are manifested, but not fully, he is called more complete. When he manifests all his qualities in fullness, he is called most complete. This is the version of all Vedic scholars in the devotional science. Krishnasya Purnatmata Vyaktabhut Gokulantare Purnata Purnatarata Dwarka Mathuradishu. The most complete qualities of Krishna are manifested within Vrindavan, and his complete and more complete qualities are manifested in Dwarka and Mathura. Ei Krishna Vraje Purnatma Bhagavan Ara Sava Swarupa Purnatar Purna now. Lord Krishna is the most complete Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavan. Elsewhere, all his expansions are either complete or more complete. Sankshepe kahilu Krishnera Swarupa Vichara Ananta kahite nare ihara vistar. Thus, I have briefly described Krishna's manifestation of transcendental forms. This subject matter is so large that even Lord Ananta cannot describe it fully. Ananta Swarupa Krishnera Nahika Ganan Shakha Chandra Nyaya Kari Digdarshan. In this way, Krishna's transcendental forms are expanded unlimitedly. No one can count them. Whatever I've explained is simply a little glimpse. It's like showing the moon through the branches of a tree. So this example was given earlier also. So when we see moon through the branches of a tree, although we think the moon is there in the tree, but moon is far away. And the tree's branches, leaves, they hold back or they hide some part of it. Well, this is how to understand Krishna's pastimes, because we can only understand up to our capacity, not beyond. Iha yai shunne pade sei bhagyavan Krishnera swarupa tatvera hai kichu gyan. Whoever hears or recites these descriptions of the expansions of Krishna's body is certainly a very fortunate man. Although this is very difficult to understand, one can nonetheless acquire some knowledge about the different features of Krishna's body. And just to give another twist, another alankar or meaning, I believe it's by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or Baldev Vidyabhuja, either of the two. Now, what's the difference between Krishna's pastimes in spiritual world and material world? And he says, his pastimes in the material world are more sweet than in the spiritual world. Why? He says, if we take a nice shining diamond and we set it in gold, and on the other hand, same diamond, we set it against a black backdrop. It's the same diamond, but it will look more beautiful in the black backdrop. So material world is like black backdrop. And Krishna's pastimes are like diamond. In spiritual world, they are set in gold and everything is perfect over there. But here, everything is imperfect, material world. But his pastimes are so perfect. And when we experience them in the material world, they become more sweet. There are so many demons are there to kill him, so many things going against him. So people get more attracted to his pastimes. And this is the beauty of Krishna's pastimes. Shri Rupa Raghunath Padhe Jara Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. following in their footsteps. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 20th chapter, describing how Sanatana Goswami met the Lord at Varanasi and received knowledge of the absolute truth. So thus ends this chapter. We'll start chapter 21 tomorrow. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai